Before attempting to work on any Daimer equipment, we strongly recommend speaking with a Daimer technical support representative so they can guide you in opening, testing, and repairing your machine. Warning: always disconnect your equipment from all power sources prior to working on your equipment. Failure to do so can lead to electrical shock. The first thing you're going to want to do is open up your machine. To do that, you're going to need to remove the black rubber bumper guard that goes around the outside edge of the machine. That will reveal the screws on it. So to do that, you're going to want to unravel the power cord if you have it wrapped up already. Just unravel that so you get easy access to this bumper guard so it comes off fully. You just lay it off to the side, it's fine. Now the back bumper guard here, you just gotta pull it up. You don't have to pull it all the way off, but you can if you like. Basically, you can just let it sit on the top like this. But that should be all you need to do. The next thing you need to do is remove the 4 screws. So there's one here, one here, one here, and one here. And to remove those, you're going to need a Phillips head screwdriver, which is the number 2 Phillips head. Now we'll remove the back 2. You want to make sure that you keep those screws in the same spot when you put them back in. The ones in the back are slightly shorter than the ones in the front, and that is because their water tank inside is made from plastic, and if they're too long, you will puncture it. Now the screws in the front, these front 2, you'll need to use a Torx security bit. This one is a T15. The Torx security bit will show you on the corner of the screen here. It'll be a 6-sided star with a little hole in the center of it. It's you can buy these at any hardware store, so Lowe's, Home Depot, Ace Hardware, places like that should have them. You can also buy a bit kit on Amazon and other web pages, and they're usually less than $5. What I like to do too is to get a little cup to put these in and any parts that you're taking out. That way you don't lose them. So after you have the screws out, the front 2 and the back 2, what you want to do is take the cover off, or the fill cap off the unit. And then you can take the top off and lean it over. And now you have access to everything inside the machine. You can just let it sit off to the side like that, and you should be ready to move on to the next step. To reset the thermoprotector, you're going to need to locate it on the boiler. Depending on how old your machine is, you might have it in different locations. On this machine, it is right here. So if you look right here, you're going to see a little button in between the 2 wires here. All you need to do to reset that is just press that button in, and sometimes it'll click, sometimes you won't even notice it. It doesn't move very far, but you press that and that should reset it. And then what you can do from there to see if that fixed the problem, plug your machine in, add some water to it, and turn on the power and heating element switch and see if it heats up. Now that we have completed repairs of the machine, we're going to reassemble it. To do that, simply take the top cover and place it on top of the unit. You want to make sure that the holes on the sides line up, so you might have to finesse the covers just a little bit to make it fit correctly. And you also want to make sure that the water tank fits through the hole properly. And just push down on the top you might have to work around and push on the bottom casing a little bit just to make it fit in there nice and snug. Sometimes the holes don't line up 100% correct, but you should still be able to tighten these down fine. So what we're going to do is start with the back screws, which are the Phillips head screws. And you're going to want to make sure that you use those Phillips head screws in their back because they are shorter. And all you want to do is you want to start screwing them in just a little bit, just enough for them to bite, so usually a turn or two, just to get them to nice and started there, not tighten down all the way. And then we're going to switch to the back side here and then the other one and install this other Phillips head screw. Again, make sure not to over tighten these and just leave it a little bit loose so that we can still move the top half around a little bit. Alright, after installing those, we're going to switch over to the front screws, which are the T15 Torx security screws. And we're going to follow that same procedure here. You're just going to need to get them started a little bit. Don't tighten them down all the way. And again, the holes might not line up 100%, so you might have to finesse it just a little bit. And then for the final screw here, we're going to stick that in and start tightening this down again. Now this final screw, you can tighten it down all the way. Make sure not to over tighten it though. You do not want to strip out the screws or damage the holes there. So you tighten it down, you can feel it get nice and snug, and once that happens, just stop. Go back over to the other side and tighten that one down the same amount. Again, just feel for the resistance of it snugging up, and then stop. And now we're going to switch back to the Phillips head screws again and tighten down the back two screws here. Okay. Nice and snug, not over tightening it. And the final screw, just nice and snug. Okay, and now that we have installed all the screws, we're going to take the cap, put it back on the tank, make sure it fits on there nice and snug, and then we're going to slide down the black rubber bumper guard. It can be a little bit tough to slide down all the way, but it helps to kind of pinch it and slide it down. And it helps if you go a little bit lower than it normally sits, because there's a little lip on the inside of that bumper guard, and what you can do is once you slide it down, you can kind of pull it up from the bottom, and you'll feel it kind of pop into place. And once it's all in place all the way around, you have completed reassembling the machine. What I do now is plug the machine into an outlet and turn it on. So turn on as and waters the machine, turn on both the power and heating element switch, and test it out to make sure that everything is still functioning